like I said, they will change their mind if they hear enough, and if they don't, you have to send a new guy. Because there are new people over there.
Sure,
That's what you need. It seems so strange that it's unique and different, and they don't quite understand this. And all we're saying is, why don't you take your oath of office seriously? It's not that complicated, but it is. It is strange because they've been so conditioned, not to follow the rule. This whole thing, and I mentioned it today, but I've been mentioning it for 6 or 8 months, and I've always been amazed. I probably have said it in this state before. I've always been impressed how many people knew about this NDAA. And I usually would mention, I know you did hear it from the national media, and they don't talk about it. Yeah, that is very, very serious. And in context, just about every Republican understands how bad Obamacare is and how unconstitutional it is. They want to get rid of it, and sort of thing, which is well and good. But if you compare the damage done with that versus the damage of a military in the federal level, you come in and arrest American citizens, put us in prison without a trial, without charges, indefinitely. That is about as bad as I get. Now, of course, we have a president that claims that he can assassinate American citizens. These are major, major steps. Yes, you might not hear, it might not be epidemic even this year or next year. That is setting the stage for something very, very bad.
And the executive orders.
Executive orders. What about this whole idea of the
National
Department of Homeland Security ordering 500 million rounds of ammunition? I mean, this is
Russian troops.
This is rather strange. That's why it is so crucial what we're doing.
I love you.
With going around the country, and of course I mentioned today, like I always do, always young people, just like every one of you in here, under 30, this is just great.
Thank you.
So,
I love you too.
I tell those who are 31 and 32 hard. Because this whole thing we're doing is a very young, if you look at history, it's very young and new. And we've had this great test, but we're going to screw it up and let it go. If we don't really grab hold of this, because you can slip into the doldrums, and we can see what happens when the government gets involved with taking care of a recession. They can take care of a recession that should last a year, turn it into 5 or 10 or 15 years. But if they do that with our personal liberties and it lasts a long time, and you don't have energized people to reverse it, it can last a long, long time. People, to totally destroy all the wealth and all the freedoms, it takes a while, but unfortunately it's accelerating right now. But we're accelerating too, and our numbers are So there is every reason to be optimistic about it and to be energized. And this is an important year. And we haven't settled all the disputes and the arguments and the votes yet in the presidential election, so we'll be doing that. But we should be very pleased with what's happening in the country, in our movement that's been growing. It's been known for a long time, but it's always been by a remnant of people, a few people holding it together. And like I said today, it was hard to find the information, the explanations that came about. And yet it's readily available. And I think this is what's so magnificent about it, the growth with the Internet. And that is why I really, really work hard and cherish the privacy of the Internet. And we're getting better. Failure is all around this. Everybody's feeling the pressure of government bearing down on us. But what do they need? 30,000 drones patrolling our skies. People are starting to feel it. They're feeling it economically. They see the failure. They know about the Fed. And I'll tell you another one we're really winning on. The American people are with us on this war.
That's right.
The reason they wouldn't allow that one amendment to come up because they knew it. just as I mentioned today that you can put coalitions and cooperate and bring people together to do the good things, of course, they do the bad things too by cooperating. That's why the people you send are so crucial. And this is what is absolutely necessary. Today, or this week, what they did was the Republican and Democratic leadership agreed that they'd get rid of sequestration because they don't want any restraints whatsoever. So all those guys that solved the problem last year with the super committee and having these automatic cuts, they're going to cancel all those out. And they're marching on unless we change the administration and change the Congress and start doing this. I mean, it'll end up in a real bad bankruptcy.
Competitive currencies.
So this, that is what we want to do. We want to try to prevent it, but we also have to say, if it isn't prevented, what are we going to do about it? If we break down the law and order, we're going to have a lot of people on our side because there has to be rebuilding. I think that's where we can be very proud of what's happening. There's a lot of rebuilding going on. Curtis has been teaching for a long time, but he's in politics. He'd be a good teacher.
Yeah.
They know what the Constitution says.
Everybody's not giving up on it.
But anyway, I thank you very much for coming out and your enthusiasm, and we'll be around a little bit, but we'll certainly be around in the morning and shake some more hands in the morning. Kurt, good luck. I know you're going to do it.
Thank you.
Congressman. I was able to introduce him twice. It's a tougher act to follow. I'd rather introduce you. But this is just great. Thank you all for coming out tonight. And I just want to remind you that tomorrow morning we're doing the breakfast. And thank you for being here. We're going to get around and talk to you. And thank you for coming. But one thing is, just to reiterate, is what I said at the end of the night holds true. Is that you get behind those candidates like you were getting behind your kids. Again, if your kid plays sports or does anything and you get emotional or worked up to watch them, that's how you have to treat this election cycle right here. That's how important 2012 is. So if you're gonna get into it, you get into it as hard as you can for your candidates, and you pull for them, you pound signs for them, you drop lip for them, you. It's time, talent, and treasure that we need. We have to take this back. I think about my wife. My wife's a licensed child care provider. You probably know that. Governor Dayton tried to force by executive order the unionization of her this last year. That's what you don't think they'll do it if they get the state house and the state senate back? You know what's coming. You know what's coming if they maintain control. That's why we have to work so hard. I went to Cottonwood County, almost all the way to South Dakota just a little while ago, a few days ago. Lost track of the days the last few days, been running so hard. But those people out there, those farmers out there, they know what happened when the Labor Department wanted to limit what farm kids could do. Yeah. They were going to pull farm kids right off the tractors because it's unsafe. Oh, and then they walked it back. Just imagine what's going to happen if we don't work hard. We have to fight like this is the fight of our lives. And we're doing this for our kids. This is for our kids. This isn't for us. We got up on the stage. We got up on the stage tonight at the end. It wasn't about me. It was about all those other legislators, all those people running for office, and everybody in the building. That's who that was about. This is only the beginning of this movement. We are going to let them know that we will be here for a long, long time this year. And thanks for coming. All right.